to the cloud. Admit.
Hi, everybody. My name is Meeta Banerjee. I'm the South Philly Co-op VP, and I go by she, her. Welcome, all of you. Thank you for attending. If you could put your name in the chat, your pronoun, and what's your most favorite item in the co-op, the store. That would be awesome. Hey, Carrie. Hi, Molly. Hi, Gianmarco, Tracy, and Matt, and Veronica. Thanks for all of you coming. Liza's has her hair back, so you must be feeling hot, like everyone else. There's Natalie and Tracy. Mally and Malie. That's my name. That's what I call Emily. Thank you all for coming in. Hello. For those who haven't heard the beginning of my little introduction, name is Meeta Banerjee. I'm the VP. I go by she, her. If you could please put your name in the chat, your pronoun, and what's your most favorite item at the co-op. That would be awesome. Hope you are all keeping cool. It's been scorcher the last few days. And the mosquitoes are out. Oh my God, I hate mosquitoes. Let's see what some of the people say. Oh, creamery sorbets. Bulk oats, baby. Let's go from the top. Mycopolitan mushrooms. I have not tried those. My favorite thing is bikes. Like a bike rack for the bikes. Like at the co-op? Is that your favorite thing? I'm only teasing. Okay, ice cream, small candy, rose lemonades. Oh, that sounds awesome. Bassett's ice cream. We're gonna have Bassett's ice cream, I think, tomorrow at the Appreciation Day, right? Please stop by, everybody. Chili crunch condiment. Co-op spinach. The chocolate tahini. Van Leeuwen's wild berry vegan ice cream bars. Woohoo! So much to try. Oats let me ride bikes, though. You said favorite thing. Co-op. David. Very nice. And Marzano tomatoes. More ice cream, especially with this heat. Thank you all for joining us here. The Spring GMM. I'll hand it off to A, who will be going through the logistics of the Zoom meeting.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Meeta. So good to be in this space with you all. Welcome to the 2022 Spring GMM. So just some quick logistics. Please keep yourself muted unless you're called on to speak or ask a question. You're more than welcome to post questions in the chat box as well. If you kind of swivel your mouse around on the screen, you'll see a black bar on the bottom of your screen pop up. There's a button that says chat. You can click that and message folks in the meeting with us tonight. You can also toggle your screen between, if you want to see everybody versus if you want to see all of the speakers. That's in the right hand top corner of the screen. It says view. You can just toggle your different options there. We invite you to join us on video if it works for you. You're more than welcome to turn your video on. You're also welcome to keep it off. And then if you would like to turn on live transcripts with closed captioning, it's the little CC button at the bottom of your screen. So again, swivel your mouse around and then you'll see that CC live transcript button, and then you can select to turn it on. Next slide. And then this is what we're up to tonight. This is our agenda for this general membership meeting. We're first going to hear from Chad Hooper, who's our board president, and then we'll pass it off to Lori, who's our general manager, who will talk us through all of the great things that have been happening in the store. And then we'll close out with a message from Colleen on our board director's election. And so I'll pass it off to Chad.
Thank you, A. How is everybody doing? Can you hear me, Mita?
We can hear you, yeah.
Okay, cool, sorry. Hi, welcome to our GMM, still virtual, unfortunately, because of the ongoing everything. So hopefully we can be together in space again soon. I wanted to talk with everyone a little bit about the board and our structure. Now that we're approaching almost 1,800 member households, it's been a while since we've gotten to engage with all of the new member owners, just about how our board functions and represents each of you. We'll talk a little bit about what we've accomplished over the last year since last GMM, what we're working on now, and then just a couple of closing thoughts before I kick it over to Lori and our team in the store. So I guess when I think about like our board and how we represent member owners, so each of us is ourselves a member owner. And we govern our co-op and work to ensure its long-term success, right? We do that by working together as a team and by empowering our general manager and holding her accountable. We provide like strategic long-term direction and leadership for our co-op. And then we're also responsible for perpetuating our democratic model. So tonight, you'll hear a little bit more about our board election and also different ways that we're going to have input from our members in how our store functions. And that's really a key component of it's a cooperative principle, right? It's a foundation of this business structure. Our co-op is a business that each of us owns equally. We hired our general manager, Lori Burge, to manage the co-op's daily operations, and she's an expert in her field, while the board of directors is composed of member owners with different skill sets from Lori. We help to ensure that the co-op is achieving our shared long-range vision, I guess, that it remains financially sustainable, holds true to our values, and that we carefully steward our board and its processes so that it continues. And we love to hear from you, and it's important that we do so that we can fairly represent your interests. You can always contact me, board@southphillyfood.coop. Our governance committee is also available to you, governance@southphillyfood.coop. At the same time, though, the board doesn't directly set like in-store policies or control in-store staff. Lori is our connection to the store's day-to-day operations, and Lori is the person that we are managing. So we selected Lori to manage that part of our business, and we support her and we provide feedback to her to be sure that the store is operating as we wish. And so just to kind of like firm up like our relationship to the store in that way, right? So we're just kind of hoping to, like I said, steward the co-op into the future. It's hard when you're starting up a new grocery store. It's been a lot of work for the current board and for prior iterations of our board to imagine the store and design it and develop it and raise the money for it, and get it going. And Lori and her team now have an enormous job, and they're doing it in a very dangerous time, to keep our store have had a grand opening during a pandemic, and to keep it operating successfully in a time that's very dangerous for grocery store workers. I can't commend them enough. And I hope that when you're in our store, you're enjoying your experience as much as we are when we're shopping there. To more about what the board's been up to improve our ability to manage an operating store, we hosted financial training for our directors, and we brought in, because we're always trying to help other co-ops, we brought the board from Kensington Community Food Co-op as well, to join us with the help of a bookkeeping cooperative, to improve our ability to assess the co-op's financial condition. In February, the board accepted the co-op's very first full financial audit report. And we're pleased to announce that the report had no findings, and it agreed with our financial reporting and the methods and systems we have in place to be sure that everything is on par, and we're tracking everything that we need to. So I'd like to just make a big thank you to Lori, to John Marco, Silly, our in-house bookkeeper, to Martin Brown, to Maria Cortese Herring, our current board treasurer, and the rest of our team for making that possible. The co-op now enjoys a board seat on the board of the Philadelphia Area Cooperative Alliance, or PACA. So we're working to support our cooperative economy throughout the region. And we helped secure funding to send 4 members of our team to the Consumer Cooperative Managers Association conference next week, to help improve our skills and our connections to the industry, and to learn a little bit more about how we can be the best co-op for each of you. What we're working on between now and the next GMM and into the future we're going to work on beginning to publish publicly accessible versions of our policy documents and our meeting agendas and our meeting minutes in the next board term, so that you can have a real-time information of what the board is up to. Board meetings are open to member owners, so if you're ever curious or wanted to attend, that information should be more easily accessible to you. So we're hoping to be able to have that in a binder in the store or available on the website. We're working with the store's team to figure out what works best for them on marketing that. But just to let you know that's coming. We're also right now undergoing an expansive review of our policy documents that govern the store, to rewrite them with an emphasis on equity, justice, and anti-oppression. We've done a good job in developing our policy documents. We adopted them in 2019, but we wanted to take now that we're operating, we're noticing some gaps, and we want to be sure that future versions of the board can, I guess, I don't want to say enforce, but live the values that our board understands that we have at our founding. So we want to firm that up. We had started a membership committee this board term. This is its first year. And so we're continuing to build that out. So we ask you to keep an eye out for new ways to be engaged with our co-op as things get safer and as we continue to have the ability to have more events together. The membership committee is going to be a more better, a deeper connection, I guess, if you will, to the population of member owners and the board. So that's what we have coming up in the next few months. We do have an election ongoing, and we do have 2 directors who will be leaving the board of directors Maria Cortese Herring, I mentioned her before. Unfortunately, tonight she couldn't be here to attend this meeting. Has been our treasurer this year. She's done a phenomenal job of getting us organized, leading our finance committee, and ensuring that our co-op is in a good, stable financial position. I am very grateful for her service. And also our director at large, Colleen Walsh, will be rolling off the board. Colleen's been a really dedicated volunteer before she was a board director, and she joined the board a couple of years ago to support our grand opening. Colleen is the man behind the curtain for our GMM. She helps organize all of these meetings for us. She keeps us on point. She is a delightful, wonderful person, and I hope you get to meet her in the store soon if you don't know her yet, because she will brighten your day. And on a final note, before I turn it over to Lori, I just wanted to thank you for continuing to follow our co-op's in-store safety protocols. We're really, really grateful to you for helping us keep our community safe. And that's my update for tonight. I'm gonna turn it over to Lori now, so you can learn more about the store.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, Chad, and to all of our amazing board members for your service, your never-ending service to our member owners and our co-op community. As I'm getting in here, I just wanted to acknowledge Christo, our grocery and wellness department manager, David, who is our produce and garden department manager, Savannah, who is our front end and owner services manager, John Marco, our bookkeeper, and Carrie, our marketing manager. That's our leadership team that works to support me and all of our staff to make sure that every department in our store has guidance and that we've got a smooth flowing operation. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump in here to numbers from the store. So basically, we've had a really great year. It was we just finished our fiscal year on the 31st of March, and was our first full fiscal year of operations, which is very exciting to finally have that full year under our belt. So we had, these are some numbers like from operating to show what kind of customer counts we're seeing. So currently we're seeing about 230 customers per day come through our door. And that's up from 170 last year. So, of course, last year was just a couple of months, but we've seen tremendous growth. More and more folks are finding out about the store and coming in to visit us, which is really great. Our average basket, which is the average amount that is spent in each transaction at the store, was $27. Last year it was $28, so it was down $1. Not a tremendous drop off there, but we are, working hard to earn as many of your sales dollars, your grocery purchase dollars as possible. So we'll be talking more about that a little bit as we get into the presentation tonight. Our sales to member owners are 45%, and the number of transactions, about 35% of the transactions are member owners. So member owners spend more when they come into the store. So thank you, member owners, for your support. And, obviously folks who come into the store for the first time, getting to know us, find out where things are, and hopefully will choose to make us their primary shopping place and become member owners of the store as they deepen their investment. So here are the numbers from 2022 financials. So our sales. So first of all, we really had a fantastic sales year. Our budget was for 1.4 million, and we actually achieved over $2 million in sales, 2.08 million. which is fantastic. That was 46% above budget. And in 2023, we're projecting 2.37 million. So that's really great growth. We've exceeded our pro forma financial statements for the year, and we're on track again this year to exceed our budgeted projections already. Just we are in, we've just finished April and May. And we've exceeded both of those months. So things are going really well in terms of sales. But we want to keep growing those sales because sales allow us to do all the great stuff that we want to do in the store, and will help us advance our profitability quicker as we're able to grow our sales and work to control our expenses. So that brings us to net income. So our budgeted net income was negative 15.3%, and we achieved a negative 14.1%. So we also did better than projected with our net income, which is really good. And of course, as a retail grocery store, we operate even just a successful, well-established retail grocery store isn't going to be an incredibly profitable business. You're not going to make a tremendous amount of net income, but we are striving over the long term to hit, 1 to 3% net income. But that's going to be, a few years down the road. In 2023, we're projecting a negative 3.6% on net income, which means we're planning to lose money operationally again this fiscal year, which is not uncommon. It does take many years for a new business to start breaking even. Looking at our ownership and equity, we did have wonderful growth in ownership and equity. So we welcomed 194 new member owners this year. Our budget was for 170 new owners, and our total number of member owners is 1,756, or at least it was at the end of the fiscal year, which is really wonderful. We're now up closer to 1,800. So that's really good. And along with that ownership comes new equity, the money that folks invest in to become a member owner, the $300. We budgeted for $34,000 in new equity, and we brought in $58.6 thousand, so almost $60,000 in new owner equity, which is really great because that helps us, with our working capital. So in 2023, looking ahead here, our goal is to have 140 new owners and to bring in $50,000 in new equity. And this is really important because of cash. So cash, of course, every business needs cash, working capital to keep the business afloat. And because we are projecting losses on our net income, making sure that we hit our cash goals and bring in adequate equity and run an efficient business, hitting our gross profit margin and keeping our expenses in line are all fundamentally important, especially this year and next year as we're navigating these kind of, these tight times, as a startup business. So we're required to have $75,000 in cash in the bank, and we currently at the end of the fiscal year had 59,000. So that wasn't we didn't hit the amount that we were expecting to have. And so what we're doing is asking folks in our member ownership to support us and help out. And the way that you can do that is to, shop at the store, do as much of your purchases with us as possible. If you are already a fully invested owner, you can add equity to our community equity fund. If you're not fully invested, you can add equity. And if you're not an owner yet, you can join the co-op. So there's a way that everybody can participate in helping us elevate our cash balance in order to make sure that we're able to weather the slow summer months. We go into June, July, August as folks go out to the shore and go on vacation, or maybe they've got stuff in their garden, or maybe they have a CSA share. Folks buy a little less over the summertime traditionally in Philly. So those are, it's going to be lean times for us over the summer. So your support is greatly appreciated. Now we're going to talk about some of our organizational accomplishments. We've done a lot in our first year. It's always a challenge to make sure that we're meeting all of our financial benchmarks, but we're also here to make a positive impact in our community and do good. Using food as a force for good is our mission statement, and so we want to be supporting that in all that we do, even when times are tight and we don't have a lot of extra cash. We work really hard to find ways to support and advance our mission and our end statements. Our ends were adopted by our board to guide us along with a long-term strategic vision. And so some of the accomplishments this year included making sure that we brought and offered a lot of fresh produce in our community. 24.8% of the products sold in our store were fresh produce. So produce was very well received. And thanks everybody for your feedback on the survey, the produce survey. That was really great. We increased our starting wage and we added 3 positions this year, which is really great. So we're up an additional $1 an hour on our starting wage. We actually are up $1.50 for our average wage this year, and we went up from 15 to 18 staff people. So we're providing more jobs in our community. We did raise quite a bit of money through a roundup at the register and through other fundraisers. Over $2,000, $2,330 were raised at the register to support local community organizations, nonprofits here in Philadelphia that are working to support and advance our similar vision, similar path that are bringing good food to our community, that are advancing social justice, that are working to promote environmental sustainability. When we produce our annual report, you'll get to see a great list of all the wonderful organizations that we've supported this year. Additionally, our Community Equity Fund raised money this year. The Community Equity Fund is the fund that was established to ensure that there is not an economic barrier to joining and becoming a member owner of the cooperative. So our equity investment, which is $300, can be a barrier for some folks in the community. And so in order to make sure that it isn't a barrier, we raise money to offset and provide basically a scholarship or a subsidy to those that cannot afford to join the co-op. We raised this year $2.4 thousand, so a little over $2,000, and 18 total members joined using CEF funds. So it's a great program, and if you know folks that want to become a member owner but don't feel that it's in their financial means right now, please tell them about the Community Equity Fund, because we do have funding available, and we want to make sure that the co-op is accessible to everybody, not just the groceries in the store, but ownership and making sure folks have a voice in our food system. We networked with over 35 community partners, which is really outstanding for such a young organization. But our long-rooted history in South Philadelphia, getting established really helped us to connect with folks that have been doing really important work in our community. And then since we've opened, we've also found a lot of new partners, which is really great. We have supported 73 local farmers and producers this year. That was an increase from when we first opened. We've almost doubled the number of local farmers and producers since we opened the store. And now about 12.9% of the items sold in the store are local. That's a number we're always working to move the needle on to increase. We launched and deepened our composting, recycling and composting program so that we're not wasting packaging and food scraps and that sort of thing. We brought a bike staple out to the front of the store, and we became a SEPTA key retailer. So those were some areas where we were working hard to make a positive impact on the environment, or at least minimize our environmental footprint. So looking ahead to 2023, this is just a very short annotated list of some of the really big and important work that we're doing in the coming year. So we're doing a lot this year. I think it's going to be a super important year for us to really, establish ourselves, really hone our operations, and make sure that we're, living up to our mission statement, our end statements, our values. So some of our goals are to improve our operational performance and systems, to become more sustainable economically, like I was mentioning with the cash position, and making sure that we are on track to continue to hit our net income goals. Greater customer and staff satisfaction. So we have two really important surveys that are coming up to engage both our member owners and the broader community, as well as our staff, our workers in the store, to make sure that we're providing good jobs. We're going to be working hard to improve our margins, because gross profit margin is super important. As everybody knows, the cost of goods is going up, and we need to keep up with that in order to make sure that we are a sustainable, functional business. We are working on creating long-term solutions to improve pricing as well. And so we have quite a few strategies in play around that, because even while the cost of goods is going up, we know that it's really hard for members of our community to keep up with those prices, just like it's hard for the business, the co-op, to keep up with the prices as well. Improving worker satisfaction, retention, and efficiency is a super important goal. And we're working to better focus on our anti-oppression goals, so that we are really living up to our values when it comes to, serving our whole community, and making sure that we are welcoming and a safe place for everyone. And then, of course, improve sustainability of operations is an ongoing goal, and that involves additional sustainability around recycling and other ways to mitigate our environmental impact. So that's looking ahead. So looking at our ownership and equity. So as I mentioned before, continuing to grow our base of ownership and raise additional equity to improve our long-term financial position is super important. So there are a lot of ways that you can help deepen your investment in the co-op. If you click on, there's a link that we can provide in the chat, which will allow you to check your equity status. You can go on there and see what level you're invested in. If you haven't fully invested at the $300 level, we're asking folks to please come through for us and add your additional $100 or whatever amount you have remaining as a balance on your account. We mentioned before the Community Equity Fund and how important that is to bridging access to our community. Adding equity through our Community Equity Fund helps the co-op, and it helps another member of our community access ownership. And so, raising equity, that means that we're improving the store's sustainability. And as I mentioned before, the first couple years of operations are really tough for a tight margin business like a grocery store. And so, your support right now is very valuable. We're looking at some really fun upcoming events related to ownership. We're going to be celebrating you tomorrow. So we really want everybody to come out and see us tomorrow, Thursday, June 2nd, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. We have a fantastic ownership appreciation day going on. We're going to be giving out free ice cream sandwiches, the very ones that everybody was chiming in from Bassett's, that are so delicious, that everyone was saying they were loving at the beginning of the meeting. We have 300 of them. The first 300 customers, the first 300 shoppers are going to get those. We're doing a lemonade fundraiser for the Attic Youth Center from 10 a.m. until noon. Very delicious lemonade that was made by Susan, one of our staff members. And you can meet Bassett's Ice Cream from 2 to 3, but we are doing the ice cream giveaway the whole day from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And then, of course, all day long, 10% off your groceries for member owners. So please come by and see us tomorrow and help, invest in your store by making groceries with us, getting your groceries with us. That would be greatly appreciated. And then we have some really fun community events planned. Juneteenth, which is Sunday, June 19th, we're going to be celebrating local Black-owned businesses in our community with cookies and iced coffee. So come by and kickstart the Juneteenth festivities with us from 10 to noon. Before like the bigger events are going on out in the community. And then we're getting back to our mural making process. There's going to be a really fantastic mural located in the back patio that's celebrating our culinary food traditions here in South Philly. And so we invite you to come out on Saturday, June 25th at 10 a.m. And there's the email that just went out today has details about both of those, actually all three of those upcoming events. So we hope you'll join us. And last but not least, I want to talk a little bit about our community survey. Now that we've been open for a year, we're really reflecting, like I said, on what we're doing well and what we could do better. And so we want to hear from you. Hearing from you is fundamentally important, at this juncture so that we can continue to hone and improve our offerings, our service, and just really what you want to see from your co-op. Like what's your vision? What do you want to see us doing? So please, chime in. There will be a survey link coming in the meeting recap, the recap from this meeting tonight that we'll send out in a couple days next week. And we invite you to participate by August 31st. So please don't delay. Like just get in there as soon as you get the link and just take the survey. It won't take too long, and you'll be entered to win a $100 gift card as well as other really cool prizes. And also wanted to share like a little opportunity, which is would help us out a lot. Is the survey, which is an online platform. Last time we did the survey, we didn't really get the broadest reach and participation, and we really want to make sure that we're reaching our whole community. And so one way that members of our co-op community can help us do that is to actually come out and table in front of the store and encourage members of the community to participate in the survey. So if you're interested in participating and doing some volunteering to help get folks to participate in the survey, it's kind of like our member community census in a way. It's really important that folks speak up and be heard. And so feel free to reach out, to general@southphillyfood.coop. We'll put the link in the chat and just let us know if you're interested in volunteering, and we'll get you connected and get you out there with the clipboard and a tablet so you can help people take the survey. Awesome. And now, without further ado, I am going to pass the torch to Colleen Walsh, who is going to be talking to you about our election, which is going on right now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Colleen.
Thank you. Thanks, Lori. Hi, friends. It is great to see so many of you. And I look forward to seeing you all in the store tomorrow. It looks like we'll be elbowing each other for some ice cream and watermelon. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And I have the opportunity, you probably have seen these lovely faces on different social media and newsletters. And we have some of these individuals here on the call today. So those of you that are running, feel free to say something in the chat. But we got some of our candidates here today, and we're really excited about them taking the time to hang out with us, and really appreciate the time that they all had for the Meet the Candidates event that we did. And we just dropped the link there in the chat. So if it was something you haven't watched yet, and maybe you haven't submitted your votes, please take some time to watch that. You'll get a great opportunity to see everybody and just to hear their thoughts and feedback about the co-op, and even just about Philadelphia as a whole. So the Board of Governors, as you heard earlier, Chad gave you all a little idea and gave you guys some updates on what we're doing and what we'll be working on. And these individuals will be helping us continuing some of these goals that we talked about for the next calendar year. And we, as member owners that are in good standing, get to vote for these individuals. So we can vote for we need at least 3 voted in, but no more than 5. Our board is made up of 9 to 11 volunteer directors. And You probably all have seen some sort of email regarding Helios. Helios is how you can submit your vote electronically. So if you haven't checked your spam box for a while, I highly recommend you go and check that out. It could have ended up there. In that email, it gives you the information you need in the sense of like, here's your username and your login information. You'll copy and paste it, put it in there, and then you'll see the list of the candidates' names, and you'll vote for up to 5 candidates and submit your vote, and you'll be all set. Our ask is that you get that in by 8:30 tonight. So that is the deadline to submit your vote. So as you're rewatching the video or maybe reading over some of the different newsletters, just keep in mind that 8:30 is when that will be closing, and we'll be turning that off. We're going to be able to finalize the candidates, the elections by tomorrow. So tomorrow the board will learn about the results, and then we'll reach out to the candidates, and then we'll be sure that we post it in a newsletter and the website and social media. So all where you've seen these wonderful candidates, you will learn the results that way. I wanted to remind everybody that we have an election every year. So maybe you've been kind of thinking about running in the past. Maybe you're kind of like, I'm learning some new things tonight. I would love to consider it. You're always welcome to join our board. We are kicking out some ideas about have coffee with a board member or a director. And so there's opportunities if you're kind of like on the fence or you just want to get to know more. You shoot us a note. We can definitely reply and have communication over email, or we can always find an opportunity to hop on a Zoom call or meet for coffee and answer any of your questions. And so we go through this process every year. And we follow the same timeline that we followed today or during this election part. And so that's something that you would like to learn more about. I really encourage you to reach out to us. We would love to share our experience and answer any of the questions that you have. And if you haven't been to a board meeting, we do them the last Monday of every month. So if it's something you would like to be a part of and join us and listen in, we would love to have you. And so with that being said, these are our candidates that are running. Love for you to take some time to read their statements and watch the videos, and then make sure that you submit your votes by 8:30 tonight. And Chad, I'm going to kick this back to you to wrap us up and close us out for anything else you wanted to add.
Thank you so much, Colleen. You did a great job. And thank you, Lori, and to your leadership team for all of your hard work in the store this year. Yeah, so everyone, that's a wrap on our membership meeting. I hope to see you tomorrow when we are enjoying our free ice cream for Member Appreciation Day. I know I will be there, lactose intolerance notwithstanding. Yeah, cool. So definitely please be sure to vote. We have some wonderful candidates. It's very hard to choose 5 of them from the 6. And so I wish you all the luck in the world on that endeavor. And yeah, we'll see you in the store. Top up your equity. That would be lovely. And let us know if you need anything. I will put our board email in here, southphillyfood.coop. You can reach me anytime. And I love to hear from you. Okay, so I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. And I look forward to seeing you in our store. Have a great night, everybody.